Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Starting Five here on HMTV6. I'm Mark Keller, sports editor of the Herald-Mail newspaper, and we're joined today by Tim Kelby, Herald-Mail sports reporter. We're going to be talking about some high school baseball, high school softball a little bit later on in the next segment, but let's start with baseball. Tim, the all-county team came out Sunday in the Herald-Mail. You can still catch those online at herald-mail.com.
Thank goodness the season's over with.
Some tough choices for you this year. Hitter of the year, let's take a look at that, and that Dylan Stauffer was our hitter of the year from Clear Spring High School. Boy, a great year for him. Left-handed hitting catcher, just...
Yeah, absolutely. You know, first of all, you had Andrew Yasik last year as the hitter of the year as a junior, and pretty much everybody kind of thought that, okay, well, here's a shoe-in right away for second time as a senior. Didn't happen. Stauffer had other things in mind. He set a goal. He was out to be the hitter of the year. He reached it. He's a power hitter. There's no doubt. And left-handed hitting catchers, as he well knows, which he thinks could be his ticket elsewhere, are hard to come by. And Stauffer, had 13 home runs, led the area, and he's been doing that his entire career.
Right, he's got a sweet swing.
There's no doubt about it.
Left-handers always seem to have a little better looking swing than righties, don't they?
Well, that depends if you're a left-hander. You want to say that.
Yeah, I'm a left-hander, so we always have a better looking swing.
Yeah, but he really is.
Going to Division I Hofstra next year, and you mentioned the home runs. Only one player in the area with more home runs than him this year, and that was Daniel Highline from Hedgesville with 16, but he also played 16 more games.
You look at the numbers. Stauffer had 10 home runs, 36 RBIs in 20 games. Hedgesville played 36 games, and Highline had 16 home runs and 57 RBIs. You equate that many games to what Stauffer's going to play, and he's probably going to easily exceed those numbers.
Absolutely. We talked a lot about the offense that Clear Spring had this year, and he wasn't alone. He had some help in that lineup. Logan Appel, most notably.
Yeah, and for Logan, he's an all-county first teamer for the third time in his career. You got a guy that's going to what's support 452 batting average. What else can you ask for? 7 home runs, 25 RBIs.
Some other hitters that were certainly in the conversation here, a couple over at North Hagerstown, Matt Daly and Austin Stone.
Well, the big one that was in the conversation piece was Austin Stone. Excuse me, and he's only a junior. He hits 452. So obviously he is going to be a prime candidate for next year. But, he's got a sweet swing also. He's an outfielder and was really one of the key cogs for North getting to the state semifinals again this year.
And then Daly, a 400 hitter, solid shortstop as well. And really those guys. And Yasik, not a bad year for Yasik either.
It's not an easy lineup to get out. Staley, second time he's a first teamer, he hit 400. And Yasik had a horrible year. He only hit 409 with 4 home runs and 21 RBIs. But North was a very tough lineup to get out. The only problem with North at the end of the year was that they started developing some problems defensively. And in the end, as we all know by now, 7 errors in a semifinal game in the States are not going to get you any W's.
No, definitely not going to win with that many errors at all. And Yasik, of course, we've talked a lot about him for years here, and with what he did at Federal Little League and so forth. And you said a quote unquote down year, but he leaves North High with most of the records.
He's got several MVAL records, and like you said, he's got most all of the North High records now. So then they're going to be very difficult to beat down the road. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I'm sure that he's going to have a very successful career at Liberty, as I'm sure that Stauffer should have a successful career at Hofstra.
There any other players first team that kind of surprised a little bit?
Well, we had Zane Schreiber as pitcher of the year for North. He was 5-0. Unfortunately for Zane, he developed some elbow problems, and the safe thing for him, and I know George Washington University, where he's going, kind of pushed it in the direction, let's not take any chances on the elbow of having any fractures. He was able to play the field, in which he did very well at first base down the stretch. So they had to shut him down. But then John Britton, a senior, did not hardly pitch last year at all, but he was important at the beginning of the year, but he became vitally important at the end of the year and picked up the slack when Schreiber was down. And another young man that too really has been with the program at St. James, Brett Vitkin, a pitcher and outfielder, seniors, played baseball all 4 years, was a first teamer this year. Really helped the Saints turn their program around this year. They won 13-10. Over there, Mick Kearns is saying, no coach of the year, no coach of the year. This is just a bunch of kids doing the best that they can. We turn the program around. But he had 4 homers, 17 RBIs, hit .369, and he had a nice season pitching too. He was 5-3 with a 2.23 ERA. So, Vitkin did a really nice job.
Well, it's been a long time coming over there at St. James,
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
Since a long time since they've had a season like that. And we've talked a lot about North and Clear Spring. They were clearly the 2 best teams in the county this year, and it's a Coach of the Year, pretty much a no-brainer, I think, as well with Drew Crawford.
Yeah,
over at
absolutely.
North Hagerstown.
Absolutely. And the thing that Drew Crawford had to do was juggle his lineup, especially with pitching. And he had to make decisions when to use Britton, when to use Tyler Schindel, who helped out a lot, Cole Conrad. When he was going to bring some of these youngsters up, they're going to help next year, got their feet wet this year, made those tough decisions. But he had a good coaching staff too. But he's got a nice 2-year record.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
20-2 in his first year, 19-4 in his second year. So you're looking at 39-6 in 2 years.
Yeah,
Not bad.
How do you top that though? Is the pressure
Yeah,
there to and with
Definitely.
the guys that they're losing? You mentioned Stone coming back, Mark Grunberg coming back next year as well, but they're losing a lot of pieces.
They've got a lot of players that are graduating. Clear Spring's got a few graduating also. So it should be an interesting season next year for sure.
Who do we look at? Williamsport maybe on
I think
the upswing
Williamsport
again?
could be back on the upswing. They've really been down. It's just they didn't get to the tournament this year like they wanted to, last year. But they've got a nice. We're all familiar with the Arnones, and Dave Warrenfeldt has got another nice player that's going to be coming back. Riley Arnone next year. He was a first teamer, and I look for big things from Riley as a pitcher next year.
Okay, well, we'll hold you to that. We'll talk about that a little bit more next year.
Yeah, there you go.
But coming up, we're going to have Tim back for the next segment. We're going to talk some high school softball, go over the all-county team as well, and have a little bit of football news for you, too, to talk about. So we'll be back with you here in just a couple minutes on the Starting Five. Stay with us.